If you actually think about it, I mean really think about it, and ponder this, the only thing that really haunts cemeteries are people. The dead are dead and buried. They can't come back. They can't crawl out of their coffin, out of the dirt like they do in the movies. They are dead. And so the only thing that frequents cemeteries are the living. And sometimes a person's grief is so significant that it actually leaves a psychic imprint on the environment. But what it takes for that imprint to show itself is the right person, the right condition, and the person sort of becomes like a remote control. And that impression, that psychic imprint, is the DVR player. And once the two join together and the play button is pressed, that scene of grief replays itself and people think that they actually see a ghost. However, that's not the case in this location where I'm standing. One night I had a very demanding group and they wanted something to happen or else they were not going to pay their money. And so I brought them to this location, and in front of them I had a rice cooker, a frying pan, and a Ouija board. And I asked them, what are the similarities between these three objects? And nobody could say anything. And I explained to them that the rice cooker was used by a woman who was beat up by her husband one night when he came home. After he beat her up, he went to go take a bath, sat in the tub. She plugged in the rice cooker to a long extension cord, walked into the bathroom, threw the rice cooker with the rice still inside into the bathtub, electrocuted the husband, and he died. The frying pan is used by a woman who's defending herself from her son who's trying to stab her to death. He's on drugs. Finally, she has no choice, bashes him over the back of the head and kills him instantly. And so I say to them, all three objects, their use is all based on intent. And so it was with the Ouija board. Someone was brave enough to sit down and work the planchette on the Ouija board, and he asked if there was anyone here who wanted to talk. And immediately, the Ouija board, the planchette, spelled out the letters R-O-Y-A-L-E, and then spelled out the symbol for medicine, RX. And so I asked the group, is there anyone here who knows somebody by the name of Royal or Royale? Does that name have anything to do with the symbol of medicine? And nobody said anything. Finally, a woman standing on this side of the group raises her hand and says, I'll tell you, but you have to have everyone leave and maybe go over there. And so I did. The woman says to me her father's name was Royale. He was manic depressive and one night tried to overdose on some pills, RX, but was unsuccessful. Then he came to this cemetery, she said, and hung himself from that branch and successfully committed suicide. And she said, I had no idea we were going to come to this spot in this cemetery. I had no idea there was going to be a Ouija board. And I had no idea that my father was actually going to come through. And I said, the funny thing about the Ouija board is parapsychologists believe that it is not a tool of the devil. It's not a thing for evil. It's just a toy made by Hasbro, and that's all it is. But its use, its function, is all based on intent. Just like the rice cooker, just like the frying pan. Both used as murder weapons. The Ouija board, to channel the ghost of a man who is still stuck here, who hung himself from this very tree where I'm standing now. Now you know.